Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Corner Kicks. Rob Wong, joined alongside by national soccer columnist Derek Van Diest, who is in Qatar for the FIFA World Cup, covering Canada's journey. And Derek, what a game that was for Canada against Belgium. The odds makers had them as heavy underdogs coming in, but they showed they could hang with some of the best teams in the world despite not coming away with any points. What did you make of their match?
Well, I thought it was a fantastic performance by Canada, and it really surprised everyone. I don't think anyone would have thought that Canada would have been able to go in there and dominate the game the way they did. They attacked Belgium right from the beginning, and I think they took Belgium a little bit by surprise. I think a lot of people thought Canada would sit back and try to hit Belgium on the counterattack, but no, they were on the front foot from the beginning. They had 21 shots on goal or at the target, which is remarkable compared to 9 for Belgium. So I think Canada showed really well. The only problem is that they couldn't finish. They missed the penalty kick from Alphonso Davies. They missed a lot of good chances, a lot of good looks on net. They had a couple of free headers in front, and they just simply could not score. But that's something they obviously can work on, but I think it's very encouraging signs that you're playing the number 2 ranked team in the world, a team that went to the semifinal 4 years ago and then ended up finishing 3rd and really dominated them. And you made Belgium have to change its tactics. So I think as far as Canada goes, they got to be very, very happy with the way they played that game. They're not happy with the result of not getting a point, but I think there's a lot to build on there.
All right, so you mentioned the penalty kick that was taken by Alphonso Davies. It was saved by Belgian keeper Thibaut Courtois. Hindsight is 2020, of course, but many were wondering after the fact if Jonathan David should have been the one to take it. Was Davies the right selection in your opinion?
Well, that's the thing. I asked John Herdman about that specific question at the press conference after the game, and I said, how is it determined who takes the penalties for Canada? And he said that the players figure it out. The players on the field down there, they figure it out. And Davies said, I want to take this penalty. I want to take this responsibility. And it's a big responsibility. Canada has never scored a goal at the World Cup. So that would have been their very first goal. So it's a huge responsibility for a 22-year-old. But he was ready to take it. And the other player said, okay, Alphonso, if you want it, you take it. Unfortunately, he was going up against one of the best goalkeepers in the world in Thibaut Courtois. He plays for Real Madrid. He won the Champions League last year. He's one of the best in the world, and he's massive. He's just a massive goalkeeper. It wasn't a great shot. I think Alphonso tried to fool the goalkeeper, but it was stopped, and that happens. But I think you're right. In hindsight, there's a lot of guys in Canada that can take those penalties, like Jonathan David, like Atiba Hutchinson, like a lot of those guys. And I think that kind of speaks to the strength of this team, where more than one guy can go up there and take that critical penalty spot. It'll be interesting to see if they do get another penalty going further in this tournament, who's going to take it.
So as you mentioned, they kind of took Belgium by surprise, and have to imagine Croatia was definitely watching this game. They will not be taking the Croatians by surprise. First off, are you expecting any personnel changes for Canada coming into this one, and what are your expectations for the match itself against the 2018 runner-ups?
Well, I think they're going to want to do the exact same thing to Croatia that they did to Belgium. They're going to want to attack and just push forward and just keep pushing forward and not be a team that kind of sits back. There's a lot of smaller team countries here that you've seen have having good results, but they've kind of sat back and absorbed pressure and then tried to hit on the counter. Canada wants to play on the front foot, and they're going up against a team in Croatia that's a team in transition. This is a team that went to the final 4 years ago, but it's not the same team. It's not the same group of players. They still have their superstars in Luka Modric and Ivan Perisic, but they're not the same group of players, and I think Canada sees that. Croatia didn't look particularly good in their first game against Morocco. They were kind of dominated at times by Morocco. So I think Canada sees this as an opportunity to keep pushing forward and keep attacking and keep trying to entertain and keep showing the world that, hey, Canada is a soccer country and we can produce very good soccer players.
Well, Canada will look for a result on Sunday against Croatia. It kicks off at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can find all of Derek's World Cup coverage at Postmedia, and you can find him on Twitter at Derek Van Diest.